Hey, Instagram Live, it's Karen. How are you? Happy Memorial Day weekend. It's Monday morning, and I wanted to do a reading with you from Courage to Change, this Al-Anon book. I really like this. This is a new kind of Instagram Live. I guess you can do Instagram Live now, which I'm happy that you can all see me live and join me. But it doesn't go on a live section. It goes on the regular feed. So I don't know. I'm still trying to get used to it. I hate change. So just bear with me. I'm going to read this today to you. It's May 25th, right? And May 25th in this book says, an Al-Anon meeting is where I am most likely to get an honest answer to the question, how are you? This is refreshing to me because for a long time, my only possible answer to this question was, I'm fine, how are you? Even when I wasn't fine at all. Denial is a symptom of the effects of alcoholism. Just as alcoholics often deny their drinking problems, many of us who have been affected by this disease deny our problems as well. Although we may have been living in chaos, worried about our families, full of self-doubt and spiritually, emotionally, and physically depleted, many of us learned to pretend that everything was just fine. Today, it is important for me to be in an environment in which honesty is practiced. I don't necessarily launch into a detailed description of my woes or my joys. That isn't always desirable or appropriate. But when asked how I'm doing, I try to ask myself what the real answer is. This frees me from the habit of denial and gives me choices. Today's reminder, how do I feel today? How am I doing? If I can answer these questions truthfully, I am more likely to pursue the help I need to share the happy times with others as well. And there's a little, a quote here. It's from The Dilemma of the Alcoholic Marriage. It says, we can say what we mean only if we have the courage to be honest with ourselves and with others. So this is a difficult one. I've got a couple of people that have just contacted me in the last 24 hours that want to talk to me. I'm going to set up time to talk to them today. And they both are in very serious alcoholic conditions. And the one woman I've talked to before, and she has small children, and she's in a spot for sure. And I've been trying to help her. The very first thing, the other woman I haven't spoken to yet, she's from Texas, and she contacted me, and she's in a pickle too. She's newly married to an alcoholic, and oh, poor thing. You know what I mean? Poor thing. And I can say that because I am an alcoholic addict. And the reason I'm doing this is to help alcoholics and addicts find recovery. And one of the best ways for me to help an alcoholic to find recovery is to help their family. Because it seems like if the family can understand the disease of alcoholism and get help for themselves, it increases the chances for the alcoholic addict to get sober, right? It increases the chance. Now, it also increases the consequences, which is what increases the chances. But you're playing with a little sticky wicket there because the consequences could also go awry on you, but you don't have a choice really. So my main objective is to help anyone suffering from alcoholism, whether it's in you or it's in someone else. Now, this particular reading talks about how you feel, and it's hard to say how you feel, especially when you don't want anyone to know what's going on. And you don't think anybody knows. Now, this is what's interesting about alcoholism and denial. They go hand in hand. Is you know how an alcoholic or an addict is using, and they think nobody knows, right? They think they're really clever, and they think they got this under control, and nobody can tell. And if I drink vodka, you can't smell it, right? So, hey, good morning. How are you? It's good to see you. So alcoholics and addicts think they're really clever, right? So they think nobody knows. The same with codependents. Codependents think nobody knows. Nobody knows my husband or my wife is a drinker or an alcoholic. Nobody knows my parent is out of control. Nobody knows that my son or daughter is shooting heroin in the garage. And the truth is everybody knows. Pretty much everybody knows. And everybody's got somebody in their garage. Everyone's got someone in their garage. Do you know what I mean by that? Everyone's got someone, maybe not shooting up in their garage, but they've got someone cutting. They've got someone who's got anorexia. They've got someone that's got bulimia. They've got someone who's an addict, a gambler, right? A rageaholic. They've got someone with depression, with severe mental illness that can't leave the house. People have shit going on. They do. It doesn't look like that. Especially it doesn't look like that on social media. And, you know, I try to be pretty honest about how I live on social media. First thing, I don't post I post funny stuff that makes me laugh and maybe things that are important to me, but I don't post a lot of like, this is my great, fabulous life. Look at my new car. First thing, I don't have a new car. I do have a fabulous life, but it's a realistic life, right? There's ups and downs. And I think when we're honest with people, it gives people a break, right? How are you doing today? I'm tired. I've been worried, right? Whatever it is for you. Maybe you're ecstatic today. You know, if someone was asking me right now, hey, Karen, how are you today? I'd have to think for a minute. I am extremely grateful today. That's how I feel. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude. I could cry. Gratitude is just overwhelming. I have a lot of issues, serious issues in my life, and yet somehow I'm able to stay sober, right? I'm able to stay sober no matter what's happening in my life. I'm grateful for that. Before, I would get drunk on a dime, right? I'm also grateful not only that I'm sober, but my experience can help someone else. I'm pretty happy about that, right? It makes it okay. And I think that's why being honest with people is so important. You have to tell people, I've had a shit show of a life, but today I'm completely grateful, right? It gives people hope, and it gives you some clarity of what's really true and what's really not. If every time someone asks you, how are you? And you say, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. You're losing touch with reality. Are you fine? We're living in a world right now where people are not fine. People are struggling. People are hurting. People are scared. Just when I thought our whole community, our what do you call it? Our population of the United States of America could not get more polarized. It has. At first, when the pandemic, hey, Carol. I saw the picture of Bradley yesterday. I was just absolutely thrilled to see he's doing well. I'm so happy you guys are together. Hope you're having a wonderful weekend. But this pandemic at first I thought was happening was to bring everyone together. Like we were all going to be a part of the human race, the whole entire world, right? And then what happens is it's become political again. It's just split everybody down the middle. Half are wearing masks, half aren't wearing masks. All of a sudden, I found out a bunch of friends of mine. I'm really grateful to the governor of California because I think he's handled this really beautifully. See, this is a perception. This is my perception. I think he handled it beautifully. I think better safe than sorry. Our numbers are very low, and I think it's because he was careful and he made some decisions for the best of all of us, right? So that's what I think. Then I see someone that I grew up with who is like bashing him for his decision because it's like ruining his rights and he's making shit up. And I was devastated, I was just devastated. I thought, God damn it. Why is that? Why are people so stupid? And the truth is, I don't know. I may be completely wrong. I don't know. What I do know is I cannot participate in this kind of division in the world. This really weird split down the middle of our country. I just can't participate in it. And so when people ask me how I am, I really have to think about how am I? How am I in my little hula hoop right now, in my little bubble, in my Karen's world? How am I? I'm extremely grateful. I'm extremely grateful, right? I'm grateful I have a program of recovery. I've had this shift of perception that I'm useful in this space that I'm in. Because if I'm not in this space of gratitude, I'm useless. I'm right. Tell me, right now, let's just say, if I didn't have a program of recovery, most of you would hate me because, well, you might hate me anyway, but the people that do like me wouldn't like me because I'm so pushy and I'm so opinionated and I'll roll over anyone to get what I want kind of person, you know? So I have to take a step back and I have to ask myself, how do I feel? And I have to be honest with people how I feel. Some days I don't feel so great. And people need to know that. People need to know that because it gives them some hope, some help, right? How are you getting out of it? How you felt hopeless yesterday, Karen? What happened, right? My answer is always the same. I find someone to help. And as soon as I help someone else, I feel much better about everything. I think that for me, I think there's like a lot of things in my life I have no control over. None, I'm powerless. But I do have control over what I think about and what I do. And if I choose to help someone else, I think it allows God to have a hand at my own life because I'm not very good at it, right? So I like this idea of telling people how you are. Some days I'm in self-pity. I get in self-pity, and self-pity makes me useless. I'm completely useless to people if I'm in self-pity. So I'm happy today I woke up in gratitude. And I started bashing myself. I got contacted by those 2 people I told you that need help this weekend, and I'm so excited to help them. I'm trying to set up a time to help them, and I'm just like, I got pissed at myself. Like, why are you not doing better at this? Why don't you have all your stuff on YouTube? Why isn't it all got little thumbnails on it, and it's all like people can search and find you fast? And why aren't you a social media whiz? Why are you so dumb at this? You're just dragging your feet, you know? You got this solid answer and you're not getting it out there. You know, you should be doing more. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. And I thought, fuck, you know, I don't know how. I'm too old, and I thought, I'm just going to ask God for help. God help me. If this is supposed to get to more people than it does, make that happen. You know, show me the way. Tell me what to do. And I think that is the biggest break I have in my life today, is that when I get all freaked out like that and I don't know what to do and I'm overwhelmed, I can pray. And I can just say, God, help me. Right? Direct my thinking. I'm whacked. And I usually come back to this gratitude. I mean, I'm overwhelmed. This month is my sobriety birthday, and I'm overwhelmed at the opportunity that God has given me to be sober and try to be useful on the planet. Overwhelmed by that. I mean, you're talking to a girl who drank 24 hours a day, right? Who did cocaine not to black out. I couldn't go to the store. I couldn't get in the shower without a drink. I mean, I was so sick. And here I walk a free person today, you know, without a drink, pill, or fix. I don't have any nicotine in my body. It's absolutely amazing, you know, and it's not because I had a lobotomy or I went to an expensive treatment center. I didn't go to any treatment center. I did originally back in 93. I went to the Betty Ford Center for about 28 days. But that has nothing to do with the sobriety I have right now. You know, the sobriety I have right now has come out of the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And the serenity and the peace I have comes out of Al-Anon. You know, these programs have saved my life. And if they can work for me, they can work for you. You know, so the first thing I say to these 2 two people that contacted me this weekend, the first thing I say is, have you ever been to an Al-Anon meeting? Have you ever been to Al-Anon? Have you heard of Al-Anon? That's the first thing you need to do, is go to Al-Anon. I know some of you might have seen, I had a post up over the weekend, and a guy said, or a guy or girl, I don't know who it was. I assume it was a guy, but said, I don't think this is, only time is going to help my partner. Only time is going to help. And I said, yeah, you're right. Right? Except for, in the meantime, you could go to Al-Anon. Have you heard of Al-Anon? Well, that's the only thing I haven't done. Well, that should be the very first thing you do. Go to Al-Anon. Get some support. Because there's ideas and thinking about this thing that you don't know. Somebody else has to show you by their own life, right? That these concepts work. These simple concepts, like stay in your hula hoop and mind your own business and zip it. Those simple things have changed my life. Just simple. The simple phrase, I don't know, has changed my life. Just to say, I don't know. Those things have really changed my life. And those were not ideas I had on my own. I had to listen to someone else. I had to watch someone else painfully find out for themselves that half this shit is none of their business, right? Ugh, very hard. Very hard. How can I add to the stream of life and be an asset? How can I do that? Well, I can share my experience, strength, and hope with somebody. And I can leave the people that don't want help, I can leave them alone. They're just doing just fine. They're not doing what I think they should be doing, but they're doing just fine. So to all of you today, I want to say congratulations that you're even watching this. It shows a willingness to change and to be open to new ideas. And I want to tell you that you're right where you're supposed to be. And everything is exactly the way it's supposed to be right now. I know that seems crazy, especially when you're in the eye of the storm. And if you're one of the people that contacted me over the weekend, first question I'm going to ask you is, have you been to Al-Anon? And right now, there's no excuse. It used to be, I used to tell people to Google Al-Anon near me and find the next meeting. Well, guess what? There's Zoom meetings online all day long. So you can get on a Zoom meeting and you can just start the process with some open-mindedness and see what happens. What's the worst that can happen? It already has, right? So I love you all. I want you to have a fantastic day. There's no reason not to. Look for the good, stay in the moment, and ask God to direct your thinking. I'll see you later. Let me know if you need anything. I'm here to help. Bye.